Hi everyone, this is Jared again, doing another talking episode of Wordgirl, and story number 10. It is The Wrong Side of the Law, Part 1. Let's begin. The episode begins where the new shop, the Pretty Princess Wonderland Workshop, when the store is finally open for everyone who is a fan of the Pretty Princess and wants plenty of power online. Every kid and every adult is in that store buying everything is related to Pretty Princess, but except for one thing. Priceless figurines the original jewelry store has opened up, only to examine and admire, and not touching them. And somehow, when all the people are discussed and walked away Reginald, someone very big with the greedy side came in and broke through the store and stole the figurines. On the other side of the town, Becky and Violet are walking towards the new Pretty Princess Wonderland workshop, with Violet holding a doll that has another doll and has another doll and has another doll holding accessories in there on it. When Becky arrives into the store, the whole scene of police are in the scene, with Police Commissioner Watson right in the crime scene. And somehow in this scene, Becky asks Police Commissioner Watson what happened here, and Watson says he cannot tell anyone what happened in related to this crime. Anyway, Becky and Bob somehow need to find this distraction to get past the police and other crime-solving officers. Inside the store, they find two CSI agents collect evidence of whoever may have stolen the dolls. Until Becky realizes she has found one figurine on the ground. Stupidly, Becky picks up the figurine and flies back to the warehouse, flies back to her super secret spaceship hideout to investigate even further. Anyway, an unknown villain is somehow having a tea party with the figurines, which seems suspicious. Anyway, back at the super secret spaceship hideout, Wordgirl's playing with the figurine until Huggy finds out who's trying to figure out who sold the dolls in the first place. And then they get a surprising video link from Police Commissioner Watson asking Wordgirl's help. Then Wordgirl hides the figurine behind her back to gain that she did not steal the figurine set. So, Police Commissioner Watson and Wordgirl help. Police Commissioner Watson, however, asked Wordgirl's help for finding who stole the figurines from the Pretty Princess Wonderland workshop. It appears they had to find a girl who is age 10 and a half with super strength and who loves the Pretty Princess power, indicating that Wordgirl's evidence believes that she realizes that Eileen, aka the birthday girl, stole the figurines in the first place. And then the three fly off and the three head off to Eileen's house, where Eileen, aka the birthday girl, is not her huge greeny self. Eileen herself pretends that it's her birthday today, and Police Commissioner Watson charms her, while Wordgirl on the other hand finds the figurines. Until a surprising thing just came up. The evidence clues that Watson has. A person with a 10 and a half age, super strength, who must be Pretty Princess, however, leads up to Wordgirl, which is not a good thing. Anyway, Wordgirl and Huggy empty their pockets, but Wordgirl, on the other hand, holds on the figurine, and the police realize that she was the one who stole the figurines in the place, putting Wordgirl in a difficult situation. And so, Wordgirl, on the other hand, framed for stealing the figurines. Police take her away, ending part 1, to jail. Moving on to part 2 of The Wrong Side of the Law. In part 2 of the episode, Wordgirl is just doing a pull-ups in her jail cell. until the narrator recaps what happened on part 1. And the warden is fully ashamed of Wordgirl, and he says, "The day Wordgirl comes to jail and he'll eat his hat." When Wordgirl tries to convince Warden she did not steal the figurines in the first place, the warden will not believe her. Anyway, she has to stay in her cell until her trial. Meanwhile, all the villains of Fair City, very happy that Wordgirl's out of the way of her annoying crime-fighting tendencies, the villains start a full riot around Fair City, somehow leaving Fair City defenseless and Wordgirl and Huggy unable to defeat them at all. If this keeps up, the whole city will be turned to Unfair City, which is not a good thing at all. Anyway, Wordgirl in her jail cell still tries to convince the warden to get her out of there, but she has to stay in there for her trial. If they find her guilty, well then, this is going to be an unhappy ending for the series, and I'm probably guessing not a good ending for the Wordgirl TV series. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, in the courthouse, the judge... Oh, fudge. Anyway, in the courthouse, today, Wordgirl has to try and defend the charges on stealing figurines in the Wonderland workshop. And so it's Attorney Botsford turning against Wordgirl, and she can't help her and somehow she can't help her. Fudge! Let me try this again. And somehow Wordgirl's friend, District Attorney Botsford, can't help her now because she is the accuser of stealing the figurines in the first place. Anyway, Sally calls out her first witness, Reginald the jewelry store clerk. During the trial, Reginald the jewelry store clerk explains on the figurines that he had them up during the display on part 1. And somehow someone did not look. Someone touched and took the figurines. And he somehow accuses Wordgirl at this point. But Wordgirl objects this. So backwards Reginald, he calls Wordgirl a monster. Then Wordgirl objects him. Then somehow District Attorney Botsford sends Wordgirl to the stand in this pic right here. Somehow Wordgirl tries to defend the charges she stole the figurines. She then, however, the clues that Commissioner Watson has to report has the report of her being a 10.5-year-old girl, and she is. She has super strength, yes, and she lets a pretty princess power hour. Yes, all the evidence and yes, she confirms all those clues that she said to the court, and somehow District Attorney Botsford confirms that she was the only one who stole the figurines. But she confirms that another person who stole the figurines as well, Eileen, aka the birthday girl. So, Wordgirl sends Eileen to the podium, and asks Eileen that she was the one who stole the figurines in the first place, which then somehow she did. The only evidence she had that she did not have is Eileen yelling, "Mine, mine, mine." So Wordgirl forced Eileen to turn into the birthday girl by giving her one of the figurines as evidence, and tries to give it to Eileen, but Wordgirl then takes it away to show her that this is evidence for the trial, which then forces Eileen to turn to the birthday girl, and the whole place figures out who stole the figurines. It was Eileen all along. She then steals District Attorney Botsford and chases after Eileen. From there, Wordgirl and Huggy fight, trying to catch up with Eileen, aka the birthday girl, while trying to fend off the villain in Fair City. She then tells the birthday girl to stop and tell her she can't have two mommies at the same time. So Eileen calms down, turns back to the birthday girl turns back to Eileen, shrinks back to size, and the three of them go back to the courthouse, and then the judge's decision is to make Wordgirl not guilty and return back to crime-fighting ways. Which is the good way to end the episode from there. So, with this out of the way, what I like about this episode is that this is the first two-part episode that was aired on season 2. Second, this is also the first episode of Wordgirl going to jail in the first place. Third, you got to explain what happened at the crime scene before you get guilty on what happened. Anyway, this is also one of my top 10 favorite episodes as well. On my another top 10 favorite episodes of Wordgirl. Anyway, this is Jared Paulson signing off and moving on to number 9. So, this is Jared Paulson signing off and see you next time.